I'm Mary Hartnett with Siouxland Public Media News. Iowa has joined other state attorneys general as part of an investigation into the social media company TikTok and its possible harmful effects on young users' mental health. The 5-member Iowa Executive Council unanimously agreed this week on granting a request from Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird's office. The council will bring in a special counsel to help the office in its investigation and possible litigation. Iowa's 3rd District Congressman Zach Nunn says the upcoming Iowa State Fair could be a chance to ask former President Donald Trump about his recent federal indictments. Trump was indicted earlier this month on 4 counts related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Nunn, a Republican, declined to comment on all charges against Trump, but said the former president should be held accountable. Trump, who is running for a second term, is scheduled to visit the Iowa State Fair Saturday. Sioux City's Planning and Zoning Commission advanced a concept plan Tuesday for a residential subdivision near North Middle School. The council voted to send the plan before the city council at its August 28th meeting. Rod Lieber wants to construct a 133-lot residential subdivision on a 49-acre site at 2319 and 2605.5 41st Street. Yesterday afternoon, the Woodbury County Board of Supervisors gave initial approval to some proposed changes in the county's zoning code. That update concerns the use of solar power in unincorporated areas. The proposed changes passed 5-0. Under Amendment 1 of the proposed ordinance change, private landowners would be able to use solar arrays with a building permit. Amendment 2 details commercial and utility use of a solar array and would require a conditional use permit, as well as approval from the Zoning Commission and Board of Adjustment. Board member Dan Raddick spoke out against the ordinance. Raddick said he believed homeowners should have the last word on how to use their own property. Also, he was concerned about residents losing payout for solar arrays and the county losing tax revenue.
On average, it was around $1,000 per acre paid to farmers. So you're talking about $4 million paid to Woodbury County farmers every year that we're just going to say, you know what, we don't need that spent in our economy locally. And when you look at potential tax revenue, even if you estimate it about 30%, you're talking about taxes on close to $200 million worth of investment. So you're kind of saying no to a lot of things on the financial front.
Supervisor Jeremy Taylor said there is value in zoning rules, though, because without them, there would be a lot of costly misunderstandings.
But without parameters up front, I think it's too loose, it's way too open, and it's too subject to interpretation. And I guarantee you we'll be in some sort of lawsuit because all of a sudden a developer will be told, here are the 5, 6, 8 different conditions that you have to meet, and say, whoa, why didn't you tell me that up front? If I had known that up front on slope, on the percentage of acres, on setbacks, or whatever it is, then I would have developed the project along those lines.
No one at the meeting spoke out against the change last night, but some voiced support for protecting agricultural land. The second reading of the proposed ordinance change will take place next week, with a third and final reading to take place later on. That's Siouxland Public Media News. I'm Mary Hartnett.